What is up, YouTube? Back with another YouTube video. We're here with a VELES Labyrinth Legend Lost Sector guide for Season of the Witch. Now, I don't know who at Bungie keeps sneaking this into the rotation, but this is one of the more annoying ones in my opinion. So I'm going to show you how to get here. The first step is pretty annoying because you can spawn up here at Skywatch. You can see if I ping it, it's going to tell me the preferred spawn would be up here. It would be like glowing and stuff. But I recommend just going through the steps over here and then driving through this little system that I'll show you. Because if you spawn up here, you're going to get put through the complex here, and it's just, you can't use your spare. There's AI sitting in there. You try to drive by them, and they're just going to shoot at you. Here, you should be relatively fine. So you can see I'm going to go to my left here. And I'm just going to follow kind of this little dirt path, and it'll end up leading you right where you have to go. You can see I'm just going to go to the left. You could go to the right there. Doesn't really matter because you're going to go to the same place anyway. And then I'm just going to make a left here. Now a right. Then another left. And then once you see this right here, you can just follow along kind of this wall until you reach this second plane right here. And then past the plane, and then when you see this big building, just go to the right. You don't have to go inside or anything like that. Just pass it, and then follow kind of this little, another dirt path, to be honest. And there's no enemies here. You can see you have very little to worry about. You're not going to get blown up. You're not going to get shot at. It's very easy to do this. And I think it's way better than trying to drive through the complex area. You can see you'll reach the Forgotten Shore. And then once you reach here, you're going to see some ships and everything. You just got to stick to your right over here. And then you'll see a couple ships. That's going to be our second one off in the distance. But there's going to be a third one. That's going to be the one with the Lost Sector in it right here. And just to show you, this does have the symbol on the ship right there. And if you don't see this banner here or the icon on your map right here, that means you have to complete it normally. So just to show you the entrance, you're going to want to drop in through here and then make your way into the Lost Sector. So you can see there's going to be a public event right now that's going to start talking. Let's see if I can escape it in time. But at a certain point, you will enter the Lost Sector. You can see right there, VELES Labyrinth. And we're gonna reach this part, and again, the whole mechanic here is you have to shoot this little totem thing or whatever, and then the symbol will go away. And then here you can see is your AI. You kill all the AI, make your way through, repeat the little puzzle thing again. You have to do it twice, and then you'll reach the boss at the end, and then you kill the boss, loot the chest, and you'll unlock Legend and Master difficulty for the Lost Sector. So I'm gonna make my way back up here. And if you're not familiar with the process of the puzzles and stuff, you can stay tuned to the guide if it's your first time doing it, and I'll show you how to do it. It's not really that hard, but it is just pretty much annoying in my opinion. But you can see we're gonna go up here, and we're going to go for the modifiers. So you can see we have arc and solar shields, locked loadout extra shields, equipment locked, limited revives, barrier and unstoppable champions, fire pit when defeated acolytes spawn fire pools that cause damage over time. Arc threat, 25% increase to incoming arc damage. Then overcharge weapons. Weapon overcharges from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity. Kinetic weapons do increased damage when your subclass element matches an active surge. Strand surge, 25% bonus to outgoing strand damage. Solar surge, 25% bonus to outgoing solar damage. And then overcharge shotgun, 25% bonus to shotgun damage. Now, if completed solo, exotic head armor is rare, enhancement cores are uncommon, and recommended power is 1830, but 1810 and above you should be just fine. So we're going to get into the loadout. Now, if you've seen the last couple Lost Sector guides, you can see it's pretty much the exact same loadout that I've been running, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. However, if you do want kind of like the full just notes and everything on why I'm using this, feel free to check out any of the other guides. Those are going to go more in depth into the loadout than I am in this one. But you can see here, Strand subclass, Silk Strike, Marksman Dodge, Triple Jump, Threaded Spike, Threadling Grenades, Widow Silk, and Threaded Spectre. Then we have Thread of Generation, Thread of Evolution, Thread of Binding, and Thread of Continuity. Then for my Kinetic Weapon Malfeasance, this is going to stun our Unstoppable Champions, and it has the Catalyst, so that's going to do increased damage against champions as well, just keep that in mind. And then for the Auto Rifle here, it could be any Auto Rifle. I'm just using it to break barrier shields, as you can see here, Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle. And from the artifact, if you want to break barrier shields, you're going to need Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle, or you can use a bow, whatever you want. I found that when I was using a bow, it was taking 2+ shots to break a shield most of the time. And I was like, that is not what I want to be using, so I switched to a barrier rifle. but again, do with whatever you want to do with that. I am using a solar auto rifle to take advantage of the solar burn, and I do have incandescent. That way I can, spread scorch to nearby targets and stuff like that when I get a kill. But again, preferably an auto rifle with a decent magazine size. I would recommend more than 38. You're going to see in the gameplay that it's not the best when it comes to breaking the shield in some scenarios, but I got it done with this nonetheless. But that's just what I'm going to be using for our heavy weapon. Circular Logic, Strand LMG, one of my favorites. I have Hatchling. We're going to be taking advantage of the damage boost with Strand while also using this. So that's going to be one of the go-to weapons for this Lost Sector, for me at least. Now for the armor, Ashes to Assets, Strand Siphon, and Kinetic Siphon. Ashes to Assets is going to gain bonus super energy on grenade kills. So when we get grenade kills, we're going to get super energy. And then Strand Siphon, Rapid Strand Weapon, Final Blows create an Orb of Power. Kinetic Siphon, Rapid Kinetic Weapons create an Orb of Power. So you can see our Kinetic Weapon here in Malfeasance, get kills, that's going to generate orbs. Strand Weapon, Circular Logic, when we get kills, it's going to generate orbs. Now for the arms, we have Firepower, your Grenade Final Blows create Orbs of Power. Grenade Kickstart, when your grenade energy is fully expended, you gain grenade energy. Then additionally, your armor charge is consumed and you gain additional grenade energy for each stack. Then we have Fastball. Now, for the chest piece, this is where I have my damage resistant mods. You can see I have 1 solar resistance and then 2 arc. To be honest, if you want to, you can throw a void, just because there is an unstoppable champion and he does void damage, so you can throw that on to kind of help you. But do with that as you will. I did it with 1 solar on and then 2 arc. You can see solar, arc. So just make those adjustments however you want to. But when it comes to my leg armor, this is where we're running the exotic Lucky Pants. And this has illegally modded holster, hand cannons ready faster and gain increased accuracy and bonus damage. And then you can see we have better already. Your health begins to regenerate immediately after picking up an Orb of Power. Kinetic Weapon Surge. Your kinetic weapons gain a small bonus to damage while you have an armor charge. And then Strand Weapon Surge is the same thing, but for a Strand Weapon. And remember, our Strand Weapon is Circular Logic, and our Kinetic Weapon is Malfeasance. So Malfeasance will proc the illegally modded holster whenever you switch to it, and then you have like 8 seconds to do damage, and then every time you hit a crit and you hit another shot, it's going to increase the damage by, I think, up to 10 times, I think it says. So that's something that we're going to take advantage of. That way we can kind of do big damage against some of the major enemies. I know there's a wizard there. You're going to see how much damage I do with just Malfeasance. I was going to try to do damage on the boss with it, but I just ended up using my super because I was like, this is like my 5th take or whatever, and I was like, screw it, I just want to get this over with. So unfortunately I didn't get to do that, but this is definitely a good DPS weapon. But in terms of the cloak, we are running 2 time dilation mods with decaying armor charge with a longer duration, and then Bomber, which reduces grenade cooldown when using your class ability. So that's pretty much the main setup. Like I said, if you want a little more in-depth, just check out any of the other guides. But you can see here, the one artifact mod you are going to need if you're going to copy this is going to be anti-barrier auto rifle. Just know that. That way you can stun champions. But we're going to get into the gameplay now. So you can see we're spawning in, and after you spawn in, you're going to just run down this little cave. And you're going to notice there's going to be a symbol here kind of blocking the path. And there's going to be a plate right here, whatever you want to call it, a disc. I'm just going to call it disc/plate from now on. And you can see you're going to shoot that. That's going to activate it. And when you reach this part, you're going to have a cave here filled with AI as well as a barrier champion. So you can see I'm just using my heavy weapon, and then I switch over to my auto rifle to break the shield. And then this one acolyte that just stood off to the side, I just had to deal with him. And then I end up throwing a decoy down to help do some damage and distract the barrier champion. I go back with my auto rifle, break the shield, switch to Malfeasance to proc the damage boost and everything, get rid of him. And then you can see somehow the plate was already shot, so just make sure you shoot that in the back of the room. And then when you make your way forward, this will be open. Then go towards anywhere you want through the tunnel. You can see this is my path, and you pretty much just want to get rid of the AI here. And there's going to be 2 symbols randomly throughout this cave. They can be right next to you as soon as you walk in. They can be on the opposite side. You just have to keep your eyes out for them. You're going to see, I'm going to find them, and I'm going to show you what they look like. But just keep your eyes out because they might be in the same spot. They might not be for you, so you're just going to have to check. But you can see in certain areas here, like this one where there's that trap, there's going to be Cursed Thrall that can spawn. So just keep your eyes out for those, because obviously you unsuspectingly fall into that trap and get blown up. But you can see one of the explosions lit up one of my symbols. So that's one symbol done, and that's what it looks like. And there you can see is my second one, so I ended up shooting it, but that's what you have to look for, those symbols, plates, whatever. But here's the second room that's here with the little traps and the cursed thrall. So when you see those, just expect cursed thrall to spawn soon after. But here you can see this is where you have to go after you shoot both symbols. Again, they're randomly generated, you just have to find them somewhere in the lost sector. But once you reach this cave area here, this is going to get very annoying just because of how small the space is and everything. But you can see I took my LMG out and I pretty much was just killing off ads with it until the barrier champion spawns in. And I believe this is the take where I was pretty bad with barrier champion kill. You can see I'm doing damage, and then this one curse thrall just kept running at me, so I was like, what's going on? I just ended up breaking the shield with my auto rifle, and I just wanted a full kill of the barrier knight, but curse thrall just kept pushing me. So you can see I ended up getting the kill there. Thankfully I had enough ammo. But that was just one of the most awkward gunfights ever, just because I just kept getting pushed by Cursed Thrall. But once you clear that out, it should be relatively easy after that, at least for enemies pushing in the cave. The rest will be over here. And from this point forward, you can pretty much just pick them off. But there is going to be a barrier champion above you on the right side, and there's going to be an unstoppable champion on the left. So be very careful for that. You can see here, there's acolytes, and there's going to be a barrier champion like I mentioned. You can see that. You can see that in a little bit actually, but just give it some time. Pick up any orbs, obviously. That way you're getting the weapon surges and everything. You can see I have the strand weapon boost by holding out my LMG. And you can see as you do damage to this barrier knight, there is gonna be a chance that these AI start pushing you like they did to me. You can see I start focusing on the barrier knight and I destroy the health bar with malfeasance. And then just expect all these AI right here to push you at some point. You can see I ended up just jumping off because I thought they were all going to swarm me, but at a certain point they just all turn around. And then I did show you the unstoppable ogre to the left. And that's pretty much what they want you to do, is they want you to jump up there, get swarmed by AI, and then get shot at by the ogre, and then, you know, catch you trying to make mistakes. But you can see I ended up just picking them off. That melee was atrocious on my part. But you can see we're just trying to deal with them. There's a whole lot of them. For whatever reason, they're just not that aggressive apparently. And you can see there's one more above me. I was trying to figure out where he was at, and then I ended up finding him right about now. And you can see the ogre is doing void damage. So you can see I take out malfeasance, I proc a legally modded holster, and I have the damage boost times 10. So I used that to my advantage until it went away, and I just ended up getting the kill anyway. So you can see it wasn't the best, but it was pretty sloppy, but we ended up getting it done there. But once you reach this part of the room, it's pretty easy, I'm not gonna lie. The hardest part is definitely just making your way out of the little cave system and where the barrier champion was initially at. But you can see once you get here, I'm just using my LMG to break these arc shield knights, and then there is gonna be a shrieker. You can see I procced a legally modded holster on malfeasance, and I got the damage boost to times 8 and just destroyed the shrieker. But once you reach here, there is going to be a portal that's going to end up spawning in a little bit. You can see right there is when it spawned in, and you're going to have that wizard mini boss. That's not the actual boss of the lost sector, so just expect that. You can see a whole lot of more ads, throwing nades, generating orbs, and pretty much you can see when I end up getting the kill on this wizard, it was actually with malfeasance. Now here what I was trying to do was get it into a good spot, that way I can do some damage without constantly taking arc damage from it. You can see I throw a decoy, got distracted, take malfeasance out, and you can see how that just shreds the health bar on what was supposed to be, you know, a mini boss pretty much. But then once you see that little effect come from the portal, that is going to mean that there's going to be AI coming through it. And there's also going to be knights that are going to spawn on the right, so do be careful with those. You can see as soon as I saw them, took out the LMG and just started getting rid of them. But at a certain point, there is going to be the real boss that's going to spawn in, and it's going to be like a 50-foot taken, or not taken knight, a hive knight. Just keep your eyes out for that. You can't miss them. You can see I'm just dealing with the AI, just expecting it. I'm not playing too aggressive by the portal, that way if whenever he does spawn, I don't want him to stomp on me, I don't want him to just light me up. You can see we get some kills. I'm looking for some orbs at the same time. Throw a decoy down, and I do end up getting near the portal. As you can see here, I get some kills, and then I believe he spawns now. I'm not entirely sure, I guess not. But you can see there's more red hellfire enemies just sitting in the portal. And there's the boss, as you can see. Can't miss him. And also spawns with a wizard, but that's like a mini boss wizard, or not even a mini boss, but you can see I ended up doing some good damage there. There's a lot of cursed thrall, that's why I was just throwing nades in that direction. And I ended up killing the wizard with the LMG. You can see pretty much just play your distance and you should be more than fine. You can see getting these ad kills, and then when I was the only person left with the boss, I just popped my super. Throw a decoy down and try to distract him. And I just ran up and spammed my light attack, as you can see. And then that eventually just ends up getting the kill right there. Pretty simple, pretty easy once you get past that first half of the lost sector. And you can see right here, I did it in a pretty much 7-minute run. So not too bad. If you're farming, I would recommend it just, you know, if you need headgear. If not, just wait. But that's going to do it for this video. If you found it useful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell so you don't miss another video. Drop a follow on my Twitch, twitch.tv/MuckisJam0. And a playlist with all my Season of the Witch Legend Lost Sector guides will be popping up on screen right now. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.